for the exemplary roles they are playing in their different areas of endeavor, urging them to continue in that line to earn the respect of their whole season. Many have either been elected or appointed into various responsible and competitive positions in the United States. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who congratulated those who have brought honors and pride to Nigeria, urged them to demonstrate the high sense of responsibilities in order that they continue to remain reference points of excellence as they serve humankind abroad and comport themselves in such exemplary manners that should earn them collective self-respect within the communities they live in. The president said the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission was created by his administration to serve as a bridge between them and the country, with the expectation that they will give back to Nigeria some of their resources, talents, skills, and global exposure for national development. He described as welcoming and impactful diaspora remittances, which stood at $20 billion in 2021, an amount 4 times the foreign direct investment in the same period, as well as their investments in various sectors of the Nigerian economy. President Buhari reiterated his administration's commitment to free, fair, and transparent elections in 2023, as this is the only way Nigeria can continue to set the right example for the rest of Africa and hopefully stop the recourse to unconstitutional changes of government. The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabri Erewa, coordinated the event.
Everybody that the president met today is not about just being American, it's about what they're doing back home. Virtually every one of them is doing something back home, contributing to the Nigerian economy, and we're always so proud of Nigeria. So it's still the same message. Nigerians being good ambassadors of their country, not forgetting home, and working with Nigerians at home to build our country, and this group has been really amazing. Like I said, what is unique about all of them is that they're not just sitting in America. They'll have business back home, the doctors are doing things back home, medical missions, they're contributing, helping to raise other young Nigerians. So we keep at it and keep ensuring that we engage our diaspora.
The representatives of Nigerians in the U.S. who visited the president were made up of those who made their marks in various fields of endeavor. From New York, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Nigeria's electricity grid has again witnessed system disturbance causing power outage in most parts of the country. In a statement, electricity distribution companies have informed customers in their various franchise areas of a system disturbance resulting in loss of supply currently being experienced across the country, while awaiting restoration of supply from the National Control Center in Osogbo. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, which manages the grid, is yet to advance reasons for the latest disturbance. The first set of mega transformers procured under the federal government cement deal have arrived in Nigeria. Joshua Ojito reports that the transformers are part of power equipment to be delivered under the Presidential Power Initiative aimed at boosting electricity generation and distribution, as well as stabilize the grid.
In the coming months, Nigerians will be witnessing installation of mega transformers procured from Siemens Energy by the federal government. Already, federal government has taken delivery of first set of the transformers, with inauguration expected in October this year. Factory acceptance test of the transformers was earlier carried out at the Siemens factory in Italy, where federal government delegation witnessed the exercise. In addition to 10 mega transformers, mobile substations among other power equipment will be delivered by Siemens Energy under the Presidential Power Initiative.
The Mobitra transformers, we have identified load centers across the country where these transformers will be taken immediately, and it will give us the boost of the quick win we have been talking about in the phase 1 of the Siemens.
The Presidential Power Initiative, conceived by the Buhari administration, is to address challenges of power supply in the country, thereby strengthening the transmission network and increase electricity generation and distribution to 25,000 megawatts by 2025. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Talking politics as the 2023 general elections campaign season formally opens on Wednesday, 28th of September 2022, both traditional and social media organizations as well as political parties and their candidates, of course, must play by the rules of the game. This is the position of guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, who recommend appropriate sanctions for those who will incite utterances capable of promoting any form of acrimony, hate speech, religious and ethnic bigotry. Thomas Obeteri reports.
It's 2 days to the commencement of electioneering campaigns for 2023 general elections, and it appears all is set, with different political parties constituting their campaigns council to market their programs and manifestos to enable electorates make good and informed choices. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria have the opinion that apart from training and retraining of broadcast practitioners, engaging youths on how to fact-check issues raised by politicians and checkmate the activities of social media influencers is a priority. They suggest that political candidates of different parties must be made to sign agreements that will enable them guide against unguarded statements, as well as discourage their supporters from peddling any form of fake news.
Whether the politicians themselves, whether the media, whether the NGOs, and us have the political will to do what is written down, what is stated that we should do. These are the major problems. These should be the major challenges. Are we ready?
We want to see candidates assessed on the basis of their understanding of what our national challenges are as at today and what solutions they have to get Nigeria out of these challenges that are so obvious.
Guests call on relevant agencies to put adequate mechanism in place to monitor the excesses of social media users with appropriate sanction for airing and culpable broadcasting stations and political parties who will want to heat up the polity.
We need to delegitimize some of these so-called social media influencers because they have not been true. Some of the activities are not really good for the system.
There should be responsible coverage of these elections. It should be issue-based broadcast, issue-based campaigns, issue-based programs.
The consensus is that at the end, the peace, unity and interest of Nigeria is more important than that of any individual, candidate or political party. In Abuja, Thomas Obeteri, NTA News.
Barely a few days to the kickoff of the 2023 electioneering campaign, a unit of APC youth organizations tagged Jagaban Ambassadors and Media Action have inaugurated its national and zonal officials to disseminate the right information about its party and presidential candidate. Membership of the group, which cut across the length and breadth of the country, is designed to mobilize support through the deployment of media tools. The national coordinator and other leaders of the organization say APC will continue to sustain conversations with Nigerians in all fronts that will reassure and secure their interests beyond the polls.
Objective of Jagaba and Kashmir Ambassadors action and media action is to mobilize 15 million votes for Aswaj Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashmir Shettima during the 2023 general election.
As part of efforts to complement the mandate of the Presidential Campaign Council and to engage Nigerians on issues rather than smearing of characters. Persons affected by leprosy will be given adequate attention to vote in the 2023 general elections.
2023 elections, all about the use of technology. Voters' facials and fingerprints to be captured with beavers. For voters affected by leprosy, their fingers deformed.
They have a right to elect their own leaders. Elect leaders of the country.
Now mainstreamed into the electoral process.
The Yangoji leprosy community and registered them in that community. They have been captured and they have their voters card. They are ready to vote in 2023.
So our people will don't register, but the problem is that the people who are registered, Some of their BBC come in. The other one no come out.
Our brothers and sisters in Nigeria who are leprosy patients have faces, and the commission have captured them. And by the grace of God, on the day of election, they will be duly accredited and they will cast their votes.
However, INEC officials still undergoing some training to give better treatment to people living with disabilities in 2023 elections. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
All right, let's take a trip to Lagos. Hingino is standing by. Hingino.
Thank you, Ruth. 8 commuters have been burnt to death in a motor accident involving an 18-passenger bus along Bagada Inward Iyanuoro in Lagos. Adeni Taiwo reports that a family of 3 survived the accident.
The ill-fated 18-passenger bus was said to be on a top speed heading to Aja from Oshodi when it reportedly tried to overtake another vehicle and make a lane change around Ojota Yanowuru interchange.
Rather than going this way, that's hitting the Oworosoke end of 3rd Milan Bridge, he missed his way to Ojota axis. And in the course of trying to make a detour on that speed, he lost control. Having lost the control, he hit this covert, had a kind of stress till this spot that took him to this last landmark.
While 7 passengers were reportedly burned to death at the scene, another victim, simply identified as Tesola, died at the Burns and Trauma Center, Bagada, where she was receiving medical attention. Omokendi Ediola, who escaped the scene with a 25-degree burn on her left leg, was sighted at the Burns and Trauma Center, Bagada, where she was receiving treatment, while a school proprietor, Emmanuel John, is also being attended to at a private hospital in Bagada. NTA camera was denied access into the 2 facilities. So far, 4 victims of the crash have been treated and discharged at the private hospital, while another male victim was also discharged at the Burns and Trauma Center.
7 at the scene, 1 in the hospital, 8 people killed because of the recklessness of somebody who eventually survived. So we have to hold our life, the key to our lives, in our hands. We are entering the peak of the new year now. So many things will be happening. The passengers have to speak out.
Meanwhile, a bullion van went up in flames at the middle of the 3rd Mainland Bridge Monday afternoon. Although emergency responders have arrived at the scene to put out the fire and evacuate the burnt vehicle, the incident led to a temporary gridlock on the bridge. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC press corps members have converged on Lagos to brainstorm on critical issues in the Electoral Act 2022 and the Commission's processes, innovations and preparations for the 2023 general elections. The 2-day capacity building workshop is organized by INEC in collaboration with the European Union and DAI. That report will be brought to you in the course of the bulletin. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on your website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for a break. The news will be back in Benin.
The second Independence Day Celebration Planning Committee announces activities lined up for celebration as follows. Public lecture in commemoration of Nigeria's 62nd Independence Anniversary. Date Thursday 29th September 2022. Venue State House Conference Hall, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Special Jumu'at prayers. Date Friday 30th September 2022. Venue National Mosque, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 1 p.m. Presidential broadcast. Date Saturday 1st October 2022. Time 7 a.m. Military parade. Date Saturday 1st October 2022. Venue Eagle Square, Central Business District, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. Announcer Planning Committee.
Introducing the Nigerian Marketing Awards. Celebrating marketing excellence in Nigeria on Friday, 11 November 2022 at the Eko Convention Center. Visit our website at www.mma-ng.com for more information. Entry closes September 30, 2022.
The security challenges we have faced as a government have been daunting, from terrorism to banditry, to kidnapping, to separatist violence, to crude oil theft, to armed robbery and sundry crimes. It's undoubtedly the greatest challenge to the peace and security of our great country since the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. It's the kind of challenge that would have overwhelmed many nations. But thanks to the purposeful leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, we can say, I want to repeat, that the worst is over, and peace and security are gradually returning to the land.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have been formed, educated, and entertained of. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized. This November, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and unflinching excellence in the broadcast media. They have served and are still serving. It's time to say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON. For more details, log on to www.tneawards.ng and follow our social media handles at TNE Awards.
Hello and welcome to Benin. The increasing number of uncollected permanent voters' cards in INEC offices across the country is now a source of concern to many patriotic Nigerians. To this end, some key players in Edo State are calling on political parties and candidates to use the period of election campaigns to also mobilize citizens for PVC collection. Judabugu reports.
These are all collected PVCs from the continuous voters registration exercise conducted before the 2019 elections, as well as the first and second quarters of 2021 ahead of the 2023 polls. As observed at this already office of the Commission, the unwillingness of some registrants to pick up their PVCs when the cards become available at INEC offices is partly responsible for this.
I meet only 2 people when I came, but they have already left. So it's only us that we are here now. We've collected our own now.
I was so desperate for me to collect my PVC because I did it since last year, October.
Key players are of the view that mobilizing citizens for PVC collection should not be left for INEC alone.
We are please appealing that they should mobilize their people to go to these LGAs. The cards are there.
The PVC is the power they have actually to participate at next year's or 2023 general election.
Some respondents suggest decentralization of PVC collections down to ward and polling units levels and increased voter education as other ways citizens can be mobilized to pick their PVCs before 2023 general elections. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
A media engagement summit of journalists and officials of Independent National Electoral Commission, Edo State, and other election stakeholders is in progress at the Secretariat of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Benin, Edo State capital. Goodluck and INEC is standing by at the venue to give us an update. Good luck. What's the situation at the moment?
Thank you, Obehi. With the team, roadmap to credible, transparent, and peaceful election in Edo State, INEC officials are expected to educate journalists and other stakeholders on the plan of action for the 2023 general election as the interface with the stakeholders. And standing with me here is the head of voter education, Edo State INEC, Mr. Timothy Wariowe, who will be telling us more about this.
Their own is to observe, to monitor the election, see what is happening in the election, and of course they will go down to the polling units where the election is taking place, and then find out what is happening. When they see results at the polling unit, let them not announce that this is the winner of the election in that polling unit.
Another interesting thing about this is that participating journalists will have opportunity of being recommended for INEC accreditation to cover the 2023 general election.
What we are doing now is to let journalists know the rules that is in line with INEC when it comes to election reports. Journalists now, in Edo State in particular, must be accurate in their reports. They must be timely. They must refrain from fake news. They must report what they see in the feed.
Now, with the summits in place, journalists and other stakeholders are optimistic that come 2023 general election, they are ready to go. Back to studio now.
Many thanks, good luck, and that's it from Benin. It's back to you, Ruth, for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Obehi. Emerging issues in the judicial sector with emphasis on adjudication on pre- and post-election matters are in the front burner as the front conference of heads of courts is underway in Abuja. Olabode Arewa reports that deliberations also centered on ensuring transparency in the management of judicial resources.
It is electioneering time once again, and practically all sectors of the country are gearing up to take active roles in the activities. The judiciary sector is not left out as it strategizes to ensure that the autonomy granted to it by Section 17, 81, and 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended remains sacrosanct.
My lords, judicial independence is critical to survival of any democracy. More so in a relatively young democracy such as ours. However, this cannot be said of many state judiciaries, as many of the heads of court still go cap in hand to the executive for funds allocated to the judiciary, as against the provisions of Section 121, subsection 3 of the 99 Constitution.
My Lord, there is no gainsaying that the fact that the transparency and accountability are two indispensable qualities of any judiciary in the world, as they aid in the fight against corruption and eliminate arbitrariness. In the light of foregoing, I make bold to say that fostering transparency and accountability at all levels of judiciary will not only increase trust but also strengthen the independence of the judiciary.
In the light of what some people with clouded intentions may want to use the judiciary to achieve, the Roundtable is also working to ensure that judicial decisions promote equal access to justice. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Access to justice has been described as the most fundamental to human civilization. The Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu stated this at a symposium organized by the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria alongside a sister organization in Birnin Kebbi. the Kebbi State capital. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
The event was organized to honor the appointment of 3 High Court judges and 1 Qadi recently in the state. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu stressed that the ultimate design of the human society is where everyone will feel inclusive and have access to the economy. In Kebbi,
how much synergy is in our state and how it is helping everyone. Access to justice is fundamental to human civilization. Maybe the most fundamental to human civilization.
Focus is also on the prevention of crime rather than prosecution, the governor added. He acknowledged the judiciary and the Nigerian Bar Association contributions in curbing the security challenges in the state. The Chief Judge of the state, Justice Suleiman Muhammad Ambrusa, stated that those being honored have no doubt contributed in one way or the other in the dispensation of justice in the state.
Definitely we have enjoyed their support. We have enjoyed their excellent performances in court. It is in Kebbi State that there was a rating last year, and the Kebbi State came second for striking cases in Nigeria.
In their separate remarks, the chairman Muslim Lawyers Association Yusuf Hamza and that of Law Officers Association of Nigeria Ahmad Rufai Aminu expressed gratitude to the governor for the various support accorded the associations and judicial system in the state. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
It was a joyful moment for Saudi Arabia as the embassy in Nigeria celebrates 92 years of their country's unification, a development that provides hope and expectations to Saudi nationals, the Arabs and Islamic world on peace and development. Rosemary Bilal reports.
It is a day to remember the unification of Saudi Arabia before 1932, when it was a separate region of West called Hijaz and central parts, the Najd. The Saudi ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Faisal bin Ibrahim Al-Hamdi, who hosted guests as part of activities to mark the National Day in Abuja, appreciated Nigeria and Saudi historic relationship, stressed the need for the two countries to work together towards strengthening their bilateral relationship. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, who represented President Buhari at the occasion, congratulated the Saudis on the celebration of their National Day. While acknowledging the importance of the day to all Saudi citizens, Pantami said the unification of all the districts of Saudi Arabia 92 years ago led to the greatest nation building, development and advancement with which the country enjoys today. The minister said, with the Vision 2030, Nigeria plans to be a successful model and a leader in the continent of Africa like Saudi Arabia.
On behalf of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, I also commend the relationship, the cordial relationship that exists between the Federal Republic of Nigeria on one hand and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the other in so many areas, particularly in the area of education, commerce, among many others. This is indeed very commendable. And I do hope that this National Day we are celebrating here for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will be another avenue where we will continue to improve our cordial relationship between Nigeria and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
The occasion was attended by Nigerian government officials, businessmen, members of diplomatic corps, and Saudi's residents in Nigeria. Rosemary Moltelen Bilal, NTA News.
Well, let's head to Port Harcourt to join Jenny. She will be giving us the next set of reports.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has tasked Nigerians to see the forthcoming 2023 general elections as an avenue to right the wrongs of the country for its rebirth. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Ibalibo Banigo, stated this at the interdenominational church service to mark the 62nd independence anniversary in Port Harcourt. Ogedi Yekwere reports.
It was a solemn service that attracted members of the State Executive Council, service commanders and friends of the state to thank God for Nigeria. Governor Wike, represented by his deputy Ipalibo Banigo, says in spite of the many challenges the country is confronted with, God has kept the nation as one entity. She is optimistic that God will give us a nation where justice, equity and righteousness will reign.
What seems impossible with men, but with God, all things are possible. And we believe that God will use these elections of 2023 to grant us our pleas and the cries of the hearts of Nigerians everywhere for the rebirth of a new nation.
Bishop, Diocese of Niger Delta North, Right Reverend Wisdom Ihuno thoughts on the topic, we must obey the golden rule. He said if the country must move forward, both the leaders and followers must work together to do things right.
In everything, do unto others what you would want them to do to you. But that's the summary of everything. The only way this country can go forward in times like this, when there are lots and lots of confusion, is that we must obey the golden rule.
Prayers were offered for the state, nation, and the church. In Port Harcourt, Oge Dinyekwe, NTA News.
Towards achieving the universal health coverage in Nigeria and to meet up with the 21st century challenges, the federal government has continued to build up the professional capacity of human resources by providing infrastructure and quality equipment to teaching hospitals. Chief Medical Director, University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, Professor Ikbeme Ikbeme, hosted these at an interactive session with journalists, say UCTH is upscaling its services to stem medical tourism abroad with support of the federal government. Udrak Etam reports.
The University of Calabar Teaching Hospital is one of the federal government medical facilities in the country that now boasts of world-class equipment installed in various departments to ensure a better healthcare delivery.
We are looking to build a system where you don't need to call anybody. A system where you walk into the accident and emergency because you have a problem. That system where we are accountable to the public. And that way, you don't have to call anybody to get service.
During a tour around various departments such as radiology and more, journalists were briefed on the workings of each machine, such as the mammography, computerized tomography, digital X-ray, and others. The chief medical director, however, hinted that the intensive care unit was set up with the federal government COVID-19 fund. He, however, debunked allegation of embezzlement of funds leveled against him and urged journalists to always verify information for good reportage.
If I embezzled COVID-19 funds, I'm not sure you would have seen the ICU. I'm not sure you would have seen the molecular laboratory. I'm not sure you would have seen the solution center. So the issues of embezzling COVID funds, no.
NUJ chairman reminded journalists of the need to work in line with the ethics of the profession by publishing factual and balanced reports.
We need to also look at how to strengthen our profession and maintain the ethics.
The now completed house officers' quarters of 56th Street was abandoned 33 years ago is also a success story for the present management of the hospital. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
And that day from Port Harcourt. Ruth is now back to you in Abuja.
With the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
celebrate the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural value.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
many of these people coming to the open areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nambi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunkuyi. Well,
you have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17th, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
Thank you and welcome to Makurdi. 200 households of flood victims in Makurdi and Agatu local government areas of Benue State have benefited from the distribution of relief materials. Sandra Akeme reports that the distribution is spearheaded by the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC.
Over the years, Benue states have been experiencing flooding, which had led to loss of lives and property, as well as thousands being displaced. As part of efforts by the federal government to address these challenges, the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC, has taken the center stage by visiting communities affected by flood, as well as ecological problems in some local government areas of the states. This time around, the gesture has been extended to Makurdi and Agatu local government areas, where thousands of flood victims received food and non-food items, ranging from mattresses, medical outreach, and other personal effects.
All these years, we have been hearing about things like this, but this is my first time I've experienced such thing.
They captured me and I benefit, so I'm very, very happy.
Immediately the life jackets came in. I made sure it was evenly given out.
I am thanking them for the good thing they have been doing to our communities.
Representative of the Managing Director, HYPADEC, Director Engineering Services, Tetsia Pilakia, and the State Coordinator, Magdalene Jam, said the goal is to improve access to social services.
HYPADEC is involved in so many activities, beginning from projects, relief materials, and all what you can mention. The commission is not a commission that will start a project and leave it halfway.
The selection was randomly done. Not every household was picked, but as time goes on, these relief materials will continue to come.
They noted that the efforts of the commission will be extended to other local government areas of the state. In Makurdi, Sandra Akeme, NTA News.
The development of Nigerian Sign Language has been described as a potent tool for national development. Key players under the aegis of the Nigerian Sign Language Development, Recognition and Advocacy Project gave this indication at an advocacy forum in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Achigili Magaji reports.
The United Nations describes sign language as full-fledged natural language, structurally distinct from spoken languages, which the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities recognizes and promotes. The Convention clarifies that they are of equal status to spoken languages and promotes the linguistic identity of deaf people. Drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, participants are unanimous that recognition of the Nigerian Sign Language will benefit the deaf community and the country at large, in line with Article 19 of the United Nations Convention of Persons with Disabilities. The forum calls for recognition of the Nigerian Sign Language as a second lingua franca officially, and to ensure the all-round inclusion of Nigerians who are deaf and deaf-blind. Stakeholders maintain that this has become necessary as the Nigerian Sign Language impacts everyday life of these categories of people and the general public.
Come together to talk about our opinions and the way forward, and also how to solve our the challenges we face, and many other activities.
Apart from their non-involvement in hiring interpreters of their own language, causing misinformation, participants, however, give kudos to the Nigerian Television Authority for blazing the trail in the use of Nigerian Sign Language on national television. Achigilimagaji, NTA News.
And that does it from Makurdi. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for the continuation of NTA Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC press corps members have converged on Lagos to brainstorm on critical issues in the Electoral Act 2022. The Commission's processes, innovations and preparation for the 2023 general election.
It is often said that democracy will only grow and flourish through adherence by the media to professional and ethical standards. Basically, the critical role of the media, especially the INEC press corps in the electoral process, is to avail the stakeholders timely and relevant information pertaining to the electoral process. It is also to carry out voter education and public enlightenment, amongst others. The workshop therefore provides opportunity for participants to be equipped with adequate knowledge of the processes of the Commission, provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, and the electoral activities lined up for the conduct of the 2023 general elections.
The Commission has introduced new innovations, and there are new and other creative issues within the electoral legal framework. One, we have a new Electoral Act 2022. It is important for the INEC press corps to be familiar with these provisions, and also to be familiar with the changes that has occurred in terms of the Electoral Act.
It's a good occasion for both sides to clarify matters, for the press to ask questions on matters where they're not clear, or where they're not sure, or where there are rumors out there which are not necessarily true.
Participants are optimistic that the training will further sharpen their skills in reporting election issues.
2003 elections has come with a lot of changes. There is a new Electoral Act. There are new innovations by INEC in terms of beavers, hours, and a lot of things.
Bridge the gap. We want to tell them the truth and nothing but the truth, to shun fake news and to promote the good reportage. So,
issues on deepening use of technology towards 2023 general elections and INEC strategy for improved voter awareness, participation and media partnership were on the front burner for discussion.
Ahead of the commencement of the 2023 election campaign on Wednesday, 28th September, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party and former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has made key appointments of special advisors aimed at strengthening his presidential campaign team. The media advisor to the PDP presidential candidate, Paul Ibe, in a statement says the appointees are former presidents of the Senate. Dr. Bukola Saraki as special envoy to the presidential candidate, and Senator Pius Anyim as special advisor. Also appointed are former governor of Kano State, Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, former governor of Osun State, Prince Olungushoye Oyinlola, and Senator Ehige Uzamire. It added that former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Uche Secondus was also appointed as technical advisor to the presidential candidate. The appointments are to take immediate effect. Atiku Abubakar charged the appointees to use their vast political experiences in ensuring that the PDP presidential campaign records resounding success in the 2023 election. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, says government has identified an increase in tax compliance by the citizenry who have seen its benefits. Executive Chairman of the service, Muhammad Nami, said these at the unveiling of the Public Finance Database by the Nigeria Governors Forum in Abuja. He said low compliance tax rate in most developing countries was due to failure of the social contract between the taxpayers and the government, adding that projects funded by taxpayers' monies should be reported as such and not personalized so that citizens would begin to relate these projects as the proceeds of their taxes. He said FIRS is embarking on tax harmonization for enhanced revenue generation. Implementation of the national policy on teachers recently approved by the administration has started at the national level, we hear. This was made public by the Ministry of Education at a media briefing on this year's commemoration of World Teachers' Day and President's Teachers and Schools Excellence Award ceremony. The new national teaching policy is a package that will address the career path, remuneration, professional teaching standards, qualification, deployment, and management of teachers.
The World Teachers' Day started in 1994 to commemorate the 5th October 1966 adoption of the UNESCO and ILO recommendation on the need to continually refresh the consciousness of national government towards the inestimable value of teachers, their indispensable role in nation building, and the importance of repositioning the profession for the attainment and sustainability of quality education.
The theme for this year's World Teachers' Day, which is the transformation of education, begins with teachers, places premium on empowering teachers for effective transformation of education to ensure quality teaching and learning, as well as galvanizing technological advancement to meet the ever-changing needs for national growth and development. To promote inclusion, development partners in collaboration with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities are prompting conversations on best approaches to transform the lives of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Ngufan Ngwai reports.
Campaign for 10% inclusiveness at all strata for persons with disabilities is gaining momentum, fueled by contributions from development partners at this inaugural meeting on inclusion.
To also ensure that persons with disability
development partners give scorecard of the progress made over the years for persons with disabilities. It is their opinion that there must be synergy among financiers as well as a common platform to direct funds and facilities to equip persons with disabilities.
One that is of note is the Inclusion Works that has just that closed out.
Within the World Bank, the disability inclusion agenda has become one of the core things that we have to mainstream and keep in mind.
Where all people with disabilities at all stages of their lives are engaged, empowered, and able to exercise their rights.
Over 80% of the disability community today in Nigeria are living within the grassroots. These are people that need to feel the impact of whatever commitment the government and our development partners come to.
I want to thank Mr. Lalu for accepting to post a person with disability who will be the interpreter on the minister's team, and a permanent person in the permanent secretary's office who will continue to interpret and even help in writing reports. We want to set example from home.
The overall aim of the meeting is to ensure that the needs of persons with disabilities are fully met. In Abuja, Gufan Ugwanyi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army Farming and Ranching is developing a program to support government's drive to address farmer herders clash and achieve food security in the country. This was the submission of its maiden training workshop at the Land Forces Simulation Center, Giri, in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Farmers-herders conflicts have for some time affected development in agriculture in parts of the country. The social vice necessitated the Nigerian Army to assemble these military personnel and experts in agriculture at the median training for the farming and ranching arm of the force. This seeks to provide methods of addressing farmer-herders clash, ensure food efficiency, and contribute to the national gross domestic product.
One of our sole objectives really is to show to Nigerians that yes, we can eliminate or at least sufficiently minimize the recurring conflict between farmers and herders as a result of open grazing and all such through ranching, and how we as Army can key into the vision of the federal government.
Army has vast land all over the country, so the aim is to utilize those land spaces so that to reduce the issue of ungoverned spaces.
It will also broaden the capacity of personnel for efficient employment of modern techniques and management of agricultural products. From the Nigerian Army Simulation Center, Giri, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Next is sports update.
Offa Volleyball Club are champions of the 2022 Nigeria Volleyball Premier League after defeating Nigeria Correctional Service 32, 25-16, 23-25, 25-17, 17-25 in a keenly contested men's final to garner 23 points in 9 matches.
I must dedicate this winning to him and also to my people, the great people of Offa. I really want to appreciate them. I want to appreciate the Offa Descendant Union under the leadership of Dr. Oladipo. He has always been there for us, and it is my prayer that this will be the beginning of good things to come to Offa.
In the women's category, Nigeria Customs Service beat Civil Defense 3-0, 25-23, 27-25, 25-21 to emerge winners. The 19th edition of Youth Fund Chief of Naval Staff Soccer Tournament is underway in Ilorin, Kwara State, with the Kwara team thrashing their Osun counterparts 4-0 in females opening match. 4 female teams and 14 male teams are competing for honor in the week-long tournament. Winners have emerged in various categories at a one-day FCT Karate Association tournament, where black belt holder and a board member, Professor Oke Ikechukwu, awarded outstanding athletes as part of activities to mark his 60th birthday anniversary.
Today, young people have very few mentors. And so, for me, this is a platform for youth development. That's why I felt that those of them who are doing well, if they are encouraged, if they see people come from the wider society to interact with them.
With sport updates, Clement Olonutoba, NTA News.
We're done. Thank you very much for your time. And please, we urge you not to give up in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.